Hi everyone, and welcome back. I'm with Jim Gullett. How you doing, Jim?
Fine, fine. Good to see you, Tom.
Good to see you, Jim. And you know, you're the committee chairman for, what's the title?
Well, of the Amador County Business Council endeavor to get the county transit occupancy tax, also known as hotel tax, up to 10%.
Okay, so the TOT, you're in charge of that. Okay. Now, how long has the group, the Business Council, been working on this?
Well, we started around February looking at it. There were some, we felt that there was an opportunity for us to raise some money for the county, to get some jobs in probably the industries that are growing the most in the county, particularly those that are bringing in outside money, and that's the hospitality industry. Those are, key to a number, including one, of course, that's near and dear to my heart, the wine industry as well. But it's, we thought that it was a good chance to bring, benefit on the ecotourism, the general wine industry, the desire that people have to go out to the country, which that's what brought us this county in the first place. That was 30 years ago, but to go and see some nice countryside, which of course it still is here.
Sure, sure is. Sure is pretty. Okay, now the TOT tax is it's in the county, so we'll be voting for the county to raise the TOT tax.
Currently it's 6%, so people that go and stay at hotels, B&Bs and so forth in the unincorporated areas, they're now paying a 6% tax on top of whatever it is their nightly fee is. And of course if we go to New York, that could be 25–30% or some places like that. But the average in California is, and the median is about 10% across counties and cities. So we're trying to bring ours up to what is sort of the norm, and already the case in Ione and Cedar Creek and Jackson. Plymouth has a similar proposition for this November ballot as well. This past week, the Board of Supervisors voted to put this on the November ballot, so we're just really getting started. The group that was before the Board of Supervisors were not only the Business Council, but we also had Tracy Berkner representing the hospitality industry and Maureen Funk from the Amador Council on Tourism. Next week I'm going to spend some time with the Vintners Association Board as well as the Grape Growers Board and one or two other of the groups that we're trying to get behind this as well.
Okay, well I talked to Richard Forrester before all this was voted on, and he said that he would probably throw the support that way if he felt that your group was going to be tackling this vote in a strongly, with strong education and things like that, because he didn't want to waste the money and come up with a no vote. How's your group going to work towards that? Well,
I think the biggest thing is we need to raise some money. But equal to that, we need to get out in the community, and not just to the involved parties, whom I've mentioned to some degree already, but get in front of people, get them to understand that this is really about jobs for the county, raising some money for the county that we can put into jobs that really doesn't exist right now. And then that comes by attracting more people to the county. Put together a program to brand Amador, get us a little bit more visibility in the tourism industry so that we can attract more people. We're going to have to, though, get in front of a lot of folks, probably a lot of grassroots, maybe even just knocking on doors. Although that can always be exciting. I know some folks won't come to our door just because of our overzealous border collie, but that's the kind of thing we're going to have to do, is get in front of people and get them to understand that this is not a tax on them. This is trying to raise money from those that visit so that we can get growth in that industry, which is still a growth industry, and get more jobs in it, which brings more taxes as well, and build from there.
Do you have any projections about how much money it would raise?
The current, the setup arrangement now will bring at least $50,000, an additional 4%. Increase from 6 to 10% in the county. Of course, it doesn't reflect amounts in the incorporated areas, and there are few, lodgings, few B&Bs and hotel-motels in the county. The one in Plymouth is also projected to bring a good chunk of money to the Plymouth coffers. My belief is that this, in combination with some other efforts, well, what this will really do is get a number of the beneficiaries of this focused on a Branding Amador program and provide the seed money to get it going.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. I was wondering, how is Amador going to be branded, and who's going to be coming up with that program and that look, or that, you know,
what's it going
to take?
Well, it takes getting a number of people together. The Council on Tourism is probably where we'd want to start,
right?
Because they have pretty broad respect in the community, and they've started some of this already. But we need to get the vintners involved as a key group. To the extent there exists the associations for the restaurateurs and the bed and breakfast and the several hotels in the community.
Do the vintners now together as a group combine their efforts for advertising and reaching out of the community to bring people here to Amador County?
Yes, but it's been pretty much focused on individual events to date. And we're at a point where we need to go broader. I think we see our competitors to the immediate west, the Lodi region, has done a lot of that work, even Clarksburg as well, for the wine areas. But this area, you know, with its the gold mining and the history and all, presents some special opportunities. I think we can brand that help a pretty broad spectrum of the industries.
Okay, so the goal is to keep people up here, or get people up here every weekend?
For sure. Well, not just weekends, but during the weekdays.
During the week as well? Okay.
Because, you know, we got to fill some of those hotel and B&B rooms and restaurants on the weekdays too. And yes, locals help on the weekdays, but in fact we really need to get more people up here for, say, take a day trip out to Sacramento, or you know, spend a night or two as part of their program in Sacramento. And so that's really our direction with it.
Okay, so what are some of the next steps, Jim?
Well, the next steps are that I need to get out in the community along with others, including Tracy Berkner and Maureen Funk, and talk to the groups that have a stake in this, such as the bed and breakfast and so forth, and as I said, the vintners next week for me.
Okay, so those are the groups that are going to be trying to educate the voters as well?
Well, we're going to try and educate them so we can get the money from them to then have a broader education of the voters. We also need to decide exactly what our program is to pursue the voters. That's sort of out of my area expertise, so just my job is to make sure that happens. So.
Okay, Jim. Well, I'm sure glad you came by and helped explain some of the TOT tax revenue and how you plan to raise it.
Well, thank you, Tom. Look forward to getting in front of people and getting them to vote for this in November.
All right. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
And stay with us. More news on the other side of the break. You're watching Amador County's #1 news and sports leader, TSPN.